What's up, guys? SkittleRampage here. So this is Daredevil versus Nightwing, or Nightwing versus Daredevil, however you want to put it. The character breakdown death battle. So we're going to start off with Daredevil, and I like both characters. I really do. Always been a fan of Nightwing, always been a fan of Daredevil. It's really hard to decide between the two. I was actually going to do my own character breakdown between Daredevil and Black Panther, so if you guys want to see that. I wrote the script and everything, I just got to find the clips. If you guys want to see that video, and it gets requested on this, then I'll do it. I might end up doing it regardless, because, you know, it's a cool matchup. Anyway, so everyone knows Daredevil's story. You know, he was a boy when he was younger. Or let's start off with his father. His father's a boxer. He's kind of known, but not too well known, because you know, he loses a lot. Well, he's probably known for losing a lot, really. But yeah. So, and his father never wanted Matty to grow up and be a boxer like him. He wanted him to become a lawyer, or not a lawyer, just, you know, just become something better than he was. And then when he was younger, on Matty's eyes, he spilled some toxic waste from a company, and that got in his eyes, and it heightened all of his abilities, which are, he has not superhuman strength, really. He kind of trained his body for that. That didn't really give him strength, but all his senses, really. So his smell, sight, well, not sight, but he can see better than he did before, you know. So his sight, everything. Hold on one second, guys. Hello?
Hi, this is GameStop in the Brandon Mall calling for Dante.
Yes.
Hey, just want to let you know that your copy of Spider-Man is in, and it will be available to be picked up on the 7th or the 6th at 9 when we close if you wanted it early.
Okay, I guess I can come by tomorrow.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Don't forget to bring us any games you're no longer playing to trade in towards your new game.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. Okay, sorry about that, guys. the Spider-Man game's ready to be picked up tomorrow, actually, so that's pretty cool. That was the call for that, but I'm glad I took the call. But yeah, what I was saying, you know, his sense of smell is heightened. Let's go down the list here. That's a scene from the movie or thing. But yeah, basically, he can't see. When he was 9 years old, he saved an elderly man from being hit. Which is actually, I didn't know this when I went over it already for Daredevil versus Black Panther, it was a Rand oil and chemicals truck. I never saw that in the original movie, and that kind of ties them together. I guess that's how that ties them, those two characters, Iron Fist and Daredevil, together. I did not know that. That was pretty cool to find out. But basically, in the movie, Wilson Fisk murders his father. But in the show, I think it's just some debt collectors, basically, that murders his father. In the movie, it was Ben Affleck who played him. He really redeemed himself after that performance with Batman. Kind of. I don't know. I don't like the Ben Affleck Batman that much. But basically, his mother failed to take care of him, so he ended up in an orphanage. And this guy, Stick, kind of adopted him, basically. And he grew up in a Catholic orphanage, so, you know, he's Catholic. But basically, Stick began a harsh training regimen with Murdock, often pushing an emotional response from him to teach him to control his anger. Over the next few months and years, Murdock became a powerful fighter and with almost complete control of his blindness. And, you know, Daredevil's amazing on his feet. You know, he's also a lawyer by day, Daredevil by night. Devil of Hell's Kitchen, you know, he goes by many names, as it actually states up here. You know, he has Matt Murdock, Daredevil, Matty, Doc, Mike, the Man in the Mask, Man in Black. I really like the Man in the Mask. I think that's pretty cool. Black Mask, Devil of Hell's Kitchen. I like that name. You know, Blind Lawyer, Multiple Lives, Saint Matthew. That's a pretty good name, etc., etc. His best friend is Foggy Nelson, and Elektra's kind of like his lover in a way, and that also the blonde girl on the show is his lover too, sort of. But I think he has more of a special bond with Elektra, obviously, because they spent so much time together over the years, and they have such a history. But basically, he has his Foggy and Nelson Murdock, or however they put it in the show. That's their lawyer group, and they don't really make a lot of money, to be honest. They take more food bribes than money. But he basically, Daredevil is brutal, but he doesn't kill. He's been against that. He's basically like Nightwing or Batman. He doesn't kill, but he's known for his brutality as well. He did in the show almost die from a really bad cut, I believe, on his side, I think it was. And then the nurse ended up saving him. Let's see. That was his original costume. Or, well, that was his first costume, just the black mask. And then, you know, he gets upgraded to... Oh, this is the scene where he collapsed and lost consciousness. I think he got cut really bad by a mugger equipment. So, basically his armored suit in their first sight, after being severely injured by Nobu Yoshioka, which he was actually, I don't really know how to say that name, but he was actually a pretty good villain in the show. Wilson Fisk actually had an impermeable armored suit, that was right, and he couldn't get stabbed, I believe. It was like knife proof. I don't know if it was gun proof though. But he ended up having Melvin Potter make his own suit, basically, and it was kind of the basis. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm going based off what I saw in the show and based off here. His vigilante suit, Murdoch bought a black suit with red stitching online to wear in his vigilante activities. He also wore a black mask over his head, eyes and nose, leaving only his mouth uncovered. The suit also had padding, which he wore underneath the suit, so that the beatings would not hurt as much, but they did not stop him from being seriously injured. Wooden sticks. Wooden sticks they're kind of like batons in a way. I guess they call them sticks. So he trained to be an epic fighter. Appearance, behind the scenes. Where? I think up here somewhere. Abilities. Here we go. He's a master martial artist, obviously. Despite being blind, Murdoch was rigorously trained in martial arts by Stick at a young age and excelled in it. He continued training himself despite Stick giving up on him, becoming an exceptionally fit man who was extremely skilled in martial arts. Murdoch eventually used his skills to fight crime as the vigilante Daredevil. Daredevil's fighting style incorporates boxing, Muay Thai, I think that's how you say it, Thai, Kung Fu, Judo, Aikido, it's hard to say something. Capoeira, Taekwondo, Eskrima, I don't know how to say that. Defeating professional hitman Rance, ninjutsu, and pro wrestling. He knows a lot, just like Batman, kind of. He could never beat Batman though. His ex-girlfriend Elektra claimed that Murdoch was one of the best fighters that she knew. By the time he'd met Stick again, Murdoch rivaled his former mentor in skill, managing to keep up with him in an intense one-on-one duel. Now, Stick, he's awesome. He's a badass in the show. Daredevil is a worthy opponent. Let's see. He's a master acrobat. Murdoch is extremely acrobatic and could already do several agile flips as a child. He is highly skilled with parkour and free running and able to quickly move over rooftops and climb buildings, managing to keep up with a car this way. Even when handcuffs, Daredevil performed an agile backflip, bringing his hands back in front of his torso. He's a master. He's really talented. I don't know if he's as acrobatic as Dick Grayson, obviously, but he's pretty talented. He's an expert marksman. Because of his enhanced senses, Murdoch has an increased awareness of where objects are. So he's not blind, really. You know, he's blind, but he's not really blind. He still sees everything and hears everything. And even if you block out his hearing as well, he still has his smell. Exceptional marksmanship with both firearms and throwing weapons, with him able to quickly knock guns out of Punisher's grasp with a hurled billy club. Also, he was able to drop a fire extinguisher on Simon's head several floors down, timing it perfectly and knowing when Simon would be off the stairs and directly below it. That's pretty cool. Murdoch speaks fluent English and Spanish, having studied the latter at college. However, he cannot speak or understand Russian or Japanese. He also knows some French, able to speak it with Elektra. He's a master lawyer. Murdoch, which one of my favorite things he has is he uses someone's heartbeat to tell if they're lying or not. And he can also identify someone by their heartbeat, which is actually pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Powers and abilities. I guess that's different from ability. Oh, this is powers. Okay. So, like I said, enhanced hearing. Like a bat, Murdoch's hearing is extremely acute. He can clearly hear conversations, heartbeats, and even breaths from several meters. He was able to hear and memorize the sound of James Wesley's watch ticking and hear Claire's bones shifting as she breathed. Murdoch can focus on what he hears in a crowded courtroom with the judge speaking. Murdoch heard a juror's heartbeat accelerate when James Wesley entered the room. Hearing the changes in people's heartbeats allows Murdoch to predict how they feel and what actions they'll take. Let's see. Echolation. Matt possesses an exceptionally advanced form of human echolation. He's able to detect objects in his environment by sensing echoes from those objects. That's pretty cool. Lie detection. Hearing, like I said. Enhanced smell. His incredible olfactory senses, which is even sharper than a dog, allow him to detect the scent of stale cigarettes and cheap cologne 3 floors above him and through several walls. When he was a boy, his sense was already so acute he could smell an old man sitting at a bench across from him had cancer. Wow, he could smell cancer? That's crazy. By smelling an old cigarette, Murdoch could tell that whoever smoked it previously had rotten teeth. He was even able to smell that Foggy Nelson had onions in his lunch the current time but 2 days ago. Enhanced taste. Murdoch was able to tell that Claire Temple had ripped open some of the stitches on her back due to the tasting the copper in the air from the blood of her open wound. Stick taught him how to train this sense, which allowed him to pick out every individual ingredient of the ice cream he was eating. Enhanced touch. Murdoch can feel the pressure or presence of those around him through vibrations, air currents, and body temperatures. He can dodge attacks and projectiles by feeling them cut through the air, creating ripples of currents only detectable to him. Enhanced thermoception. Matt can sense changes in the heat environment. Enhanced balance. Murdoch's sense of balance is superhuman, giving him perfect equilibrium, coordination, dexterity, reflexes, and agility, resulting in high levels of acrobatic and gymnastic ability. His dexterity and reflexes were enhanced even before his training with Stick. Obviously, he's very, very talented, and I don't know, for some reason my money's on Daredevil against Nightwing. Nightwing gets a little excited during battle, and he's a little egotistical, so that could be potentially his downfall. I don't know. We'll see. Let's switch over to Nightwing. Okay, guys, so Nightwing, skills and abilities. They started straight off here. I guess it's a little different, but peak human conditioning. Having undergone an evidently vigorous and intensive training regimen under Batman as Robin, he has exercised physical form to near perfection for someone of his age for the purposes of fighting crime, which I believe he would take the mantle up of Batman. Over time, his body developed into a more muscular tone, and as Nightwing, he is able to easily utilize this with great strength, stamina, and agility. Enhanced speed, trained since he was four to be an elite acrobat. Wow, that's a lot of intensive training for a 4-year-old. Nightwing has developed agility that is practically that of a superhuman. He possesses speed that grants him quick movement when running, as well as having very silent feet to allow him to sneak up on others even while running. Enhanced reflexes. Nightwing practically possesses flexibility and reflexes of a superhuman, which allows them to possess great fighting potential there, where he can easily dodge and encounter incoming attacks from nearly any direction. Enhanced stamina. Nightwing has been trained from a very young age, which has developed into a large amount of potential energy. Nightwing is on a patrol all hours of the day and is prepared to fight for days while maintaining his composure without fatigue. Enhanced strength. Nightwing is known to have impressive strength, which was shown since time as Robin, where he could go toe-to-toe in combat against supervillains such as Bane with his bare hands. Genius intellect. Taught by the brilliant Batman, Nightwing possesses vast knowledge in several fields in the world. He is especially an expert in technology, as he improved his hacking and technological skills since becoming Nightwing, nearly outclassing Batman in those fields. Interesting. I didn't think... Come on, he can't outclass Batman in anything. It's Batman. Multilingual, having had the finest education as Bruce Wayne's ward, he speaks fluency in English, French, Spanish, Russian, Japanese, Farsi, or Persian, Mandarin, and Cantonese, and has some knowledge of Romani and the alien language of Tamaran. Master Tactician. Nightwing is a brilliant and expert strategist gained from his experience from leading the Titans. Additionally, Nightwing's efforts to remain in contact with other heroes makes him a master at rallying, unifying, and inspiring the superhero community, a skill in which he has surpassed his mentor. Master Detective. Nightwing is a world-class detective on par to the likes of Batman. He was rigorously trained by the Dark Knight in everything from escapology to criminology, fencing, stealth, disguise, and numerous other combat/non-combat disciplines. Master Hacker. During his time as Robin, he developed his own skills in hacking several interfaces of the Word using his untraceable Robin program. He was even able to hack the think they meant impenetrable Batcave on several instances. So there's some errors here. It's okay. Expert escapologist, Nightwing was well trained in escaping various traps and binds since his time as Robin. Expert pilot, Nightwing is well versed in piloting many vehicles, including automobiles and planes, and the Batmobile and Batplane. Master combatant, Nightwing is an incredible combatant in terms of close quarters combat. He is known as the strongest of all the Titans, and is on Justice League level, though he possesses no superpowers. Much like his former mentor, Nightwing has mastered several fighting attributes, such as hand-to-hand combat, weaponry, and especially acrobats. I don't think this does all of Nightwing justice. Master martial artist, Nightwing is a master of several classes of martial arts. He was taught most of them directly by Batman, who is quite possibly the greatest human martial artist. He also obtained knowledge of several styles during his solo career. He has effectively combined the martial arts he has mastered into a unique style that suits his strengths. This makes him one of DC's top-tier martial artists. Master weapons specialist, Nightwing has been well-versed in technology weaponry since his time as Robin. He has developed a skilled mastery of nearly every weapon in the world and is able to effectively use them in his combat skills. Master acrobat, Nightwing is a prodigious natural athlete possessing a peak human level of agility and acrobatic skills. He is generally regarded as the greatest human acrobat in the DC universe. Batman himself is an incredible athlete in agility, but even he gives the advantage in that area over to Nightwing. I think Nightwing is just more nimble and like has a skinnier frame than Batman, even though Nightwing's pretty built as well. As he is the only person on Earth who can do the quadruple somersault, formerly one of three, the other two being his parents. Master stealth, Nightwing was taught to be very covert during his time as Robin. He's able to effectively appear and disappear without anyone noticing and has obtained several skills involving remaining in the shadows. Now, obviously, I know tons of people know Dick Grayson's story, you know, the Flying Graysons or Amazing Graysons, however they put it. His parents were killed by thugs in the circus ring. I think they were gunned down, or I think they were dropped down. It was either gunned down or dropped down. I don't know, I might get that confused, but basically Nightwing was left on his own, or Dick Grayson was left on his own, and then Batman adopted him from, I think it was from the Wayne Foundation, or was it just an orphanage? And then he ended up making the Wayne Foundation. Honestly, I'm a little confused with the story there. I just know Nightwing's backstory a little bit, but basically that's the story of, that's pretty much his background story. Similar to Batman's, you know, his parents died, and that's why Batman, he trained him and took him under his wing, but because he was an angry kid just like Bruce was. But basically, I don't know, my money's on Daredevil, guys, to be honest. Then again, Nightwing's pretty, I'm kind of in the middle of it though, but if I had to pick someone, I would say Daredevil. I kind of like Daredevil a little bit more than Nightwing, even though Nightwing's pretty epic. But yeah, so this was a character breakdown video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and remember to like, subscribe, and share, and thanks for watching, and tell me down below who do you think would win. Alright, see you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Bye.